Thomas Jefferson said George Washington's mind was slow in operation but sure in conclusion. It's an insult and a compliment all wrapped together. Although I think slowing down thinking is exactly what we all need sometimes. In Thomas Ricks' book, First Principles, he details Jefferson's fascination about Washington's slow brain. Jefferson had the classic elite education. He learned languages and philosophy and law and ancient history. And Washington had pretty much none of that. He didn't go to university. He didn't know Latin or Greek. But Washington had a different kind of education. He grew up working the land, tracking boundaries, managing debt. He rode terrible roads as a surveyor. He spent years on the frontier with bad weather and bad supplies, and he had men who might die if he did his job wrong. Jefferson learned from books. Washington learned from the streets, or the dirt roads, as it were. So it is a bit of a mystery how this Washington guy, this common sense type person, kept rising to the top of public life. Jefferson just didn't get how someone who moves so slowly keeps landing on solid ground. And what Jefferson, the brilliant and bookish but never a soldier, didn't fully see is that for Washington, the slowness was learned. Early in Washington's career, he was the opposite of slow. At 22, at Fort Necessity, he rushed into a fight he didn't understand and ended up surrendering his entire force. Historians described him in these early years as having a propensity for rashness. He basically has to discover the cost of fast, bad decisions. But by the time the revolution comes around, you can see that Washington's had a change. He stops chasing that one glorious battle. He fights a patient war. He avoids suicidal fights. He listens to his officers, and he basically wears the British down with patience. This slow in operation, sure in conclusion is really a seasoned mind that refuses to be rushed and then commits. And Ricks, in his book, shows the same pattern with James Madison. While Washington learns to slow down while under fire, Madison is doing the slow work on paper. He looks at the Articles of Confederation and he sees a country wobbling. He knows that some changes need to be made, and he doesn't come up with a quick fix. He spends years studying ancient republics and confederacies, especially the Greek leagues, trying to understand why they failed. And he starts outlining a more durable system that they would need. And so when he arrives in Philadelphia, he's not winging it. He's over-prepared because he's done all the slow thought ahead of time. It's a different arena, same rhythm. Washington's cautious to commit in battle, bold once he decides. Madison's patient in designing the government and bold in what he proposes. We all know that we live in a world of instant gratification and snap judgments, and I love this model of slowing down parts of our lives, especially the important parts like family and building our character. You don't need to be fast at those decisions. You need to be willing to take your time and then have the courage to act when it counts.